I don't even know how to start this off with just saying I'm just blessed and grateful. This week has changed my mind and perspective in so many areas. I have broken through so many mental barriers that was holding me back for years that I realized it was just those thoughts were just over exaggerating. I set a goal for myself. My goal was always $1 million. I wanted to reach $1 million. That was a goal that I had for myself. And I sat down and I said, okay, this goal was a longer term goal that I wanted to achieve. And I said, okay, 10x, because I was in this 10x mindset. Because that $1 million goal was a years. I could see that happening within years. And I said, okay, what would need to change or what would you need to do in order to do it in 6 months? And I literally sat down and I just said, let me just see. I wrote it out, every single thing. And I said, yo, you would be a fool to not execute on this entire plan you just wrote out. And I said, I'm going to actually take action on this. And I said, I'm going to do something different this time. I'm going to overcome that battle that I had. The reason why I never documented my journey and shared it because I was so afraid of failing. And I would always give myself that excuse of I'm going to just go ghost. I'm going to lock in. And then when I level up in X1Z, I'm going to share it and tell everybody about how it happened. That was just a lie. I was afraid of failing publicly. I was afraid of saying that I was going to do something and me failing at it and it not happening. And I said, I'm going to change that. So I decided Sunday. Today is what's the date? Today is Saturday, June 27th. I decided Sunday, whatever day that was, Sunday, and I made this video and I had this huge whiteboard up and I wrote down exactly this is the exact game plan that I'm going to follow to get to my first $1 million. This is the cycle that I'm going to follow. So right now, where I'm currently at is I currently have a 50K funded account. I just got into futures recently. What that's going to look like for this is I'm going to take the 50K account. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to invest that into more 50K account plus 50K. And I'm going to constantly keep doing that. That's the cycle that I'm going to constantly keep doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a trade copier. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep on stacking 50K accounts. 50K, 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 keep on stacking 50K accounts. If I get to a total of 20 50K accounts, if the platform allows me to do 20, then I definitely would do 20. But if I get to the point where I can do 20 plus accounts, that is $1 million in funding. So what I want to do is get to the point where I get $1 million in funding. I had one account, one 50K account, and I didn't even pass it yet. I was close to passing it. I just needed like one more trade. At the time of today is Saturday. And I literally documented this all throughout the week. And doing this, it made me understood the trajectory of what I'm going to start doing from now on in the upcoming weeks. I'm going to turn this into a documentary style. I was going to do it like day to day, but I'm going to record it and turn it into like, this is what this week went like. Every single week, I'm going to document how the week went and how I level up. And I've been using my Instagram stories to document things like in the moment, real time. What are the things I'm implementing to get over this over planning and under executing? I'm forcing myself to, before I really make a full deep video on it, just post it on my story and just talk about what I'm doing. And I wanted to pull the curtain back a little bit because I broke down about my goal to 1 million and it was talking about getting 20 50K accounts that will total up into $1 million in funding. And right now, this is my first time actually trading futures. I just started trading futures maybe a week or two ago. And with this prop firm account, I will, how long is this? This is about to end. I'm gonna just make another video and then I'll talk about where the current account is. I passed the account yesterday and I need to put the mic over here. I passed the account yesterday. The profit target was $3,000. I hit that target, and if I scroll down a little bit more, show you guys what the stats look like. My best trade was 1400, worst trade was 300, average win was 500, average loss was 100. So I had an average of about a 5R multiple close to that, as you can see by the profit factor. And then I had a win rate of 50%. These are the total contracts, and it took me, when it comes to the prop firm account, how I'm going to do it, because this is one out of the 20 that I need in order to get $1 million in funding. But what I'm going to do is, the way that the payouts work with this, it is daily payouts. The thing about it is I first have to have a buffer of $2,100 in the account, and I need a minimum of a $500 withdrawal. So basically, after I start making 3, 4, 5K from it, then I can start with crushing those withdrawals daily. And what I'm going to do is constantly keep getting more funded accounts. I may get 1 or 2 more this week, and that'll be a total of 150K. And how I'll do it is I'll get a trade copier and I'll connect all 3 of them. So that means the funded account will be rolling, and then I would have the 2 challenge accounts connected, taking the same exact trades with the same exact contract sizes. All right, update on the funded account journey. It is about time to level up and get another account. Me and Danny are going to do a podcast one day, and I'm going to emphasize and thank her so much for putting me onto futures. The speed at which things operate, I've never experienced this type of speed with a prop firm before. When I was trading CFDs and like Forex and all that all the time, and I was doing prop firms, it would be like 14-day, 30-day, you got to wait for the payout, 2 weeks, it'll be 48 hours, you got to go through this, you got to go through that. I kid you not, I passed the account yesterday. Within 30 minutes, they sent me the full funded account credentials. And within the past day, I made over $3,000. And I'm already eligible to request the payouts, which could potentially be like $500 to $1,000 in just one day. And then on top of that, these are daily payouts. All right, I want to put this into perspective on the power of scaling and the way that my mindset perceives these profits. I'm not looking at $3,000. I'm looking at me already hitting that goal of $1 million and having 20 accounts. If I made $3,000 on one account, that's $3,000. If I do that times 20 accounts, that is $60,000. That is the power of scaling, and that's what I'm going to do. This is why I know that the framework that I have, I know it's going to get to that goal. Because if I do the same exact thing, trade the way that I trade, and I follow my system, and just get more accounts and just connect them, 20 accounts, $60,000. All right, I want to keep it 100 with you guys for a second. And one thing that I realized by actually taking action, because the biggest thing for me is how I set goals, is I keep on raising the goal until it starts to feel uncomfortable. And that's when that is my goal. When it starts to feel like that is out of reach, that sounds crazy, that is what my goal is. And what I do is I put myself in a position to where now I'm taking the actions that gets towards that goal. Setting that goal of 20K prop firm account, 20 prop firm accounts to get to that million. Not the million seemed out of reach, but that 20 accounts, I was like, oh, that's a lot of accounts. Let me be honest with you guys. I'm sending another thing. I was doing this live in the community on a webinar with everybody, and I said, yo, I ended up looking at my P and L. Let me show you. On the second account, this one I had to get stopped out because of the consistency rule, so I'm still passing this one. This is the actual funded account that I'm on. I made $4,000 today, almost close to $5,000 in one day. And I said I'm going to request a payout at the end of the day. And I said, how many accounts can I get if I were to just take $1,000 and invest that into some Lucid accounts that cost like $70? I would be able to get 14 accounts if I took $1,000, invest that into prop accounts. So that means that goal of 20, I would get 14, and I have these 2 already. That would be 16 in a couple of days. This goal that was there, it's literally right here. Alright, so an update on the journey so far.
after yesterday's payout, I ended up buying a couple more accounts. So right now I'm at a total of 7 accounts. I just passed my second one today. So right now I have the My Funded Futures, the first one that's fully funded, and I just passed this Lucid one today, so that's fully funded. And these just need one more good trading day potentially, and these will be funded as well. Then I will have a total of 7 accounts and getting closer and closer to that goal. Right now I am at 300,000 in prop firms. I need 700,000 more, and then I will achieve my goal of 1 million. All right, this is the next morning, and what time is it? 23. And today has been the first red day that I've had in about a week and some change. Following my system, everything just didn't play out, and which is beautiful because the way that I have my trading, one of the biggest things I used to struggle with so much was revenge trading and greed. I just could not stomach the fact of having a red day, like, because I knew that if I lost the trade, I knew that there's a potential that I couldn't make it because the market, it's always open, it's always moving. So it's easy for me to, oh, I can get another setup. I could find another setup and make that back. I don't have to end the day off red. To me, it was so hard to just get up and walk away, take the red day, and then come back later on. That was one of my biggest issues. And I actually, this is about to cut off. I'm making another one. And I said, I am literally tired of this because I got so tired of being in a position where I know how to trade, I know what I'm doing. Why can't I just stay consistent with this? Like, I want better for my life, and I know that what I'm doing isn't going to get me there. So why can't I just not be consistent with it? And I decided to build out an entire framework around it. But I told myself I have to put up these guardrails. And I started doing things that once I hit a certain loss limit, it puts me in a position to where I am forced. I can't revenge trade. I can't have FOMO. What I would do is whenever I would hit that loss limit, it's now I have to immediately close my computer, close my phone, and I have to do something that gets me away from any technology at all. And in doing so, what happened is the longer that I got away from that, the less tempted I was to go back and revenge trade because I'll send another part. And the more that I got that distance, I would actually speak life into my life. And what that did was I took that negative emotion and I started stacking so much positivity on top of it that I couldn't sit there and go back to that and, oh, let me get back on the charts and revenge trade, because I would just thank God and speak life. Thank you, God, for giving me breath. Thank you, God, for providing. Thank you, God, for putting this roof over my head. And I stacked so much of that. And it made me really realize it's like, yo, you're going all over the place and doing this for a couple of dollars, but you're able to see, you're able to speak, you're able to provide, you're able to do all of these things that most people can't do. Some people can't see, some people can't speak, some people can't walk, some people don't have all their limbs, but yet you do. And you're worried about a couple of dollars. And doing that so many times, it made me have the mindset that I have right now, how I, perceive money and everything. To now, to this day, right? I have passed 2 accounts. I have a total of 7 accounts. I have 5 more that I need to pass. I've made 8K in 2 days. Requested a $5,500 withdrawal and got paid out, I want to say 4,900 or 45 from the profit split. And today is Saturday. Something, this is going to lead into next week because I want to document this in real life. I don't want to say I'm going to do something and then wait until it happens and talk about it afterwards. This is right now, live in the moment. When I made that payout, I never forget, I was at the park. I was training and I was talking to one of my clients and I was having a conversation with them, and I told him, it's like, yo, to me, this is freedom. The fact that I'm able to come out at 2, 3 p.m. on on a Wednesday or Thursday, whichever day it was, and come and train for hours without having to go clock in anywhere, without having to worry about anything, and just making $8,000, that's a blessing to me. That's freedom to me. That peace of mind. And when I made that withdrawal,
the way that, because I'm completely transparent. I'll tell you guys the prop firms that I'm using as well. But I use my funded. I'm right now. I have my funded futures. I have 5 accounts with them. I think because I have another student, Danny. She's absolutely insane. I think she is at like $1 million right now in funded, doing the same like process that I'm following. She put me a lot on game with this. But my funded futures, I have 5 accounts with them, and then I have 2 accounts with Lucid trading. And my funded futures, I literally requested the withdrawal, and I will share the entire screenshots of everything. I will show the screenshots of the exact times, the withdrawal, and hitting my Coinbase wallet and everything. It was like from withdrawal request to hitting Coinbase wallet within an hour time frame. And I sat down in the car, and I was in the car for maybe 30 minutes to an hour because I said, okay, do something different with this withdrawal. Do something for yourself because you're always doing for others. You're always, how can I invest back into trading, invest back into the business? But the whole point that you decided, that I didn't decide it, the whole point God put trading into your life was to give you freedom. Trading is a vehicle. Trading is a skill set. Trading is not your life. That's why I stopped calling myself a trader. That's why I stopped calling myself a businessman, or stopped calling myself a content creator, or stopped calling myself a all of these titles. I'm seer. All of these things are skill sets. All of these things are passions. I'm not a trader. I am seer. There's way more to me than just trading. And I said, what is the number one thing that you've always told yourself that you was gonna do, but you was so hesitant on doing it? And I said, traveling. That was the number one thing that I always told myself growing up. I said, when I grow up, because growing up, my family was never poor, but we were never rich. And we would take trips and things of that sort, but we couldn't really experience it fully the way that we wanted to. We had to time crunch it around certain times when everybody could show up, and we couldn't really get the full crazy to the max experience because, obviously finances and everything. But I told this, do this for yourself because you can't bless others. You can't provide for others if you don't be there for yourself. You can't make others happy if you don't make yourself happy. And I said, okay, let's do this immediately. I'm about to take a trip. I'm about to travel. And I'm telling you guys this right now, real time. Today is Saturday, June 27th. You guys will see next episode what ends up happening because I'm going to document throughout the entirety of it. But immediately in that moment, this thought popped up in my mind that I knew God did this for a reason. I said, yo, you're about to travel. You're about to try to figure all of this out on your own. God has blessed you with an aunt who does this. Like passion, traveling to me is a passion. But your aunt, she does this for a living. This is a skill set to her. So I said, all right, cool. I'm going to call her. And I called her immediately on the spot. I said, Auntie, like, you busy? Nah, I want to travel. She's like, oh, okay. Where do you want to go? And I said, Costa Rica. And it was this like spot in that I originally had. And I said, I would love if you could, because this is my first time. This is my first time ever solo traveling out of the country. I've solo traveled before, but that was more business related. It wasn't like for me personal. This will be my first time solo traveling for myself and out of country. And why not have the absolute best person who does this for a living help me do it? And I asked her, and she was telling me, these places and stuff, and we're still in the conversations and the talking of it. Because she said, how long do you want to go? I said, shoot, about 5-6 days. And she's like, okay, just give me the dates. I said, next week. Like, honestly, like, literally next week. And this was the conversation I had. So I want to go this upcoming week if I can get everything planned out, because I told myself I'm done with the over planning and under executing. Find a place and I'll talk to her, ask her how much everything is going to cost, the budget, whatever the case may be. How much do I need? Just tell me how much I need and I'm going. And what I'm going to do for her is I want to use this as an opportunity because I know that I'm going to continue to keep leveling up, especially seeing what I've been able to accomplish in the week. It really showed me. And I'm like, yo, Sir, you've been doing this for years. Like, you know how to trade. Like, you really know how to trade. You know how to trade. Like, I'm confident in my trading. I'm confident in my abilities and know what I can accomplish on these charts. And I said, I know I'm going to constantly keep leveling up and I know that I'm going to constantly keep traveling. The thing that I would love to do is to help her out. Because as I'm traveling, as she helping me, I just shed so much light on her business. It's like, yo, the reason why this is so easy for me to manage and everything. I just want to travel, like all the like where to go and how to do this and how to do X, Y, and Z. I don't know none of that. Somebody that does, why not bring so much attention to her? Because that's what she wants to do. She loves to travel. Imagine if she can travel and literally help others travel and do what she wants to do. I would love to use the gifts that I've been blessed with and use my platform to help her as well. Not just my platform, but the profits that I make. Because if I'm making so much more and I'm traveling to these places, I don't know if she thinks this is the case, which is absolutely not the case. I don't know if she thinks just because she's my aunt, I'm going to ask her to do this for free. And she's just going to do this for free. And all I do is just give her publicity. Oh, absolutely not. I'm going to compensate her for everything that she's doing for me and helping me. You're trying to travel and go places here and there. Psh, get a travel agent. Like, get a travel agent, somebody that can help you do that so you can enjoy the trip without having to try to pinch and do all these numbers and all the extra stuff when you have somebody that does this for a living. And that's why I said I'm blessed and grateful that my aunt does that. And I want to bless her as well. So that's where I'm currently at right now. Right now, I'm currently there. When it comes to the accounts, I ended up having a red day Friday. Now, the accounts, one of them, majority of them are basically at break even. I do have the fully funded account, the two funded accounts. So those are the main accounts that I'm going to be trading next week. I know it's going to take me at least a minimum of 2 days to pass the other five because they have the consistency rule of 50%. So what I'm going to do is continue to keep doing the same thing. Like I look at my whiteboard and it's so much updated. Literally my entire mindset has shifted since that first video. And I'm going to continue to keep leveling up. And next week's episode is going to be far more detailed, far more documented because I use this week as, that's why I haven't really posted any videos because I wanted to say, how can I document this and actually help others along the way? Not just random videos and just posting, but I want this to be in a way where I'm not just doing this by myself and there are others who, we're doing this together. That's why I've been really spending a lot of time behind the scenes. I'm really spending a lot of time organizing this community that I want to build, that I'm building, organizing, like revamping my entire business, my entire brand, my WAP page. Cause I was gonna do between like school and WAP. Like I'm just letting you guys know, pulling the curtain back. So now that was the trading talk. Now it's like the brand talk, my mindset when it comes to the brand and the community and the business and my whole idea behind it. I was torn between the two for like literally weeks and some time. Like I've been building out on school, but I've had WAP for years that I've been running my business off of. And the number one thing that really stuck out to me is I prefer WAP for right now because WAP allows a feature that I use all the time, which is voice messages. Um, because I want people voice speaking things out loud. It's so much more powerful than just doing it in a text. You can't do that in school. And for example, like I'm able to share my thoughts and my emotions live in real time on a voice note. And I've seen somebody else, they did that as well. And it made so much of an impact. And I'm like, yo, this is something I want, a space where like a chat where people could just, something's going on their mind, they may be able to send it there. And then somebody else that may be going through the same exact thing or been through what they went through, you're able to boom, now, yo, let's chop it up. Let's get into the DMs. Let's get on the phone. And that's that type of place that I want to build because I no longer, once again, I'm not a trader. So I'm not classifying anything like my business as a trading business anymore, like how it originally was. My brand, it's the people that want to change and the people that you want to change, you want to level up, you want the best of your life. It's to the point where your mindset has outgrown your reality. And I can understand, I know how challenging it is to do it alone. Not online, there's so many people, but in real life, it's very rare that you have, like, in your immediate circle, like around you, like 5 people that are literally on that same type time mindset that you are. Majority of people aren't. And I want to have that space because having those people around you, I know what that feels like. God has put people in my life that literally support me to the moon and back. When they're having conversations, they speak about me more than they speak about themselves. They've spoken so much life into my life, which has allowed me to get to this point. I was never able to do all of this by myself. It's always those people. I have a brother, his name is Dex. He supported me before I even supported myself, like before I believed in myself when it came to this content stuff. Yo, you're gonna do X, Y, and Z. Like you're gonna do this. Like I support you. I know you're gonna do this. Ah, that was at a time when I was really on that social anxiety spill that I talk about so much. And he was always, and still to this day, he supports me throughout all the entirety of it. He tells his family about me, and it's truly a blessing to have somebody like him in my life. And he's elevated my life so much, and I'm blessed and grateful for that. And I want to have that space for that. So I've been really spending the time. I'm going to revamp the website. That's what this upcoming week is going to be. I'm going to spend a lot of time building out the WAP. That's what I wanted this to be. I didn't want to make this super. I just wanted this to be raw because I wanted to document this. This is the first week of so much. So I want to share. This is episode 1. I want to share. This is episode 1 now. This is season 1. Imagine episode 5 and 10, the improvements that are made. But I wanted to make sure that I document this in this moment. Right now it's just the talking head and me sharing the previous things. But I've realized exactly how I'm going to do this upcoming week. And next week's video is going to be an improvement from this one, and so forth and so forth. But I'm excited to see how this upcoming week happens. If I take this trip, then I'm going to document the entirety of the way, Lord willing. I'm experiencing this live in real time, but I'm getting to document it. It just forces me to be more consistent and disciplined, because when I say that I'm going to do something, I'm not going to say that I'm going to do something and then not execute on it. It's easy to say that by myself. Yeah, I'm going to make $1 million on X, Y, and Z. It's easy to say that to myself, and I know that I'm not really held accountable to it because it's just me. But when you post it and you record yourself and document and say, this is exactly what I'm going to do, you're held to a lot higher standard. So that's why I love it. And I just really hope that it does inspire others. And not only as my life levels up somewhere along the way, wherever somebody falls in on whatever season or whatever episode, that, it plants a seed in you and you're able to achieve the life that you want to achieve. Love you all so much, and I will catch you all for next week's episode.